Hey, what up, everybody? It's your boy Trevor, back with another rock and metal news video. So, everybody now has heard the story of the lady, the 24-year-old, suing Trophy Eyes over the band jumping off the stage, the singer, and stage diving and causing a injury, right? A spinal injury. And there's a few comments that I want to talk about. One person writes, if you go to a show and sue, you're lame as F. I know accidents happen, but it's your choice to go to the show. So why would you sue if you went to a show and got injured? You chose to go to that show. So no matter what, you chose to go there, and you could have put yourself in a spot where you weren't going to get hurt. Well, everybody realizes the venue is only 237 capacity, so it's a very small venue in Buffalo, New York, where this band was performing. Then the next comment says, for sure, you should definitely expect people to get wild at these shows. And I will reply again, if you've never been to a show in your life, or let's say you have, you might not know how bad the band gets. Let's just say it's like you've only been to big shows like Metallica or something like Linkin Park or something like that in a stadium where you're in a chair or you're sitting in an amphitheater chair, and you've never had an experience where you went to like a so-called local small venue. My thing is, I wrote in a comment back to this person, I said, I see where you're coming from, bro, but nobody assumes they're going to a rock concert and they might break their back. People don't go to shows and assume automatically, well, tonight going to see Linkin Park when I'm sitting in the stands, or, for example, I'm going to go see the 49er football game tomorrow. I might break my back. Nobody assumes that. Just like, hey, I'm going to be going up to the grocery store. I might come back with the kneecap missing. No, nobody assumes that. I wrote, people, their primary interest is to enjoy themselves and experience entertainment and not be put in danger or experience any physical harm, right? They're not going to a show like I went to this show with my girl. We never thought there'd be physical harm or physical violence or anything, right? People expect this venue will be designed to provide a safe and enjoyable experience for everyone involved, the band, the artist, everybody. Everybody is expecting to go to a show, and the venue's going to be safe. It's going to be a place where you can enjoy the show, you can have fun. That's why a lot of times I sit in chairs. I'm not going to be down in the pit area, and I understand if people are in the pit area, they can get hurt. That's your own fault, right? But still, even if you're in the pit area where you're not in the mosh, because there's still people that wanted to just stand there and watch the show. Here's the thing. Some people, and I'll just say most people, aren't going to shows believing, hey, tonight my kneecap might be shattered, or tonight I might have the guitar player jump out in the audience and jump on me. You're not going to expect that, and especially at a very small, little, tiny 230-seat venue where you can barely get 300 people capacity, people aren't expecting that they're going to get hurt. See where we're actually standing, right? Are you going to assume, are we supposed to assume that because we're standing here and the people behind us are standing there, that we should expect that we're probably going to get hurt tonight? No. So I understand where the person is suing. I understand why the person is frustrated with the venue. I totally understand that. So for people to make that remark of, well, they put themselves in that situation, so it's technically their fault. I don't believe it's their fault. Like I said, just because you're going to a show doesn't necessarily mean you've ever been to a small venue like that, and maybe you don't know how the band's going to be. Does the artist probably sit back and go, I actually regret jumping off the stage? I will say probably does. I'll say probably the artist does probably regret jumping off the stage. Do I think they'll probably jump off the stage again in a small venue like that? Probably absolutely not, no. And the reason I say that is I can see if it was like a big open floor with like 3, 4, 5, 600, maybe 1,000 people, and you could jump off like this amphitheater that I was at seeing I Prevail. But in a small place of 237 people, that's crazy. So I understand the comment, oh, you should be safe at all costs. But what if she was being safe and she just didn't? She just looked up and goes, "Oh shit, the singer's jumping off," and it landed on her. And maybe she was protecting herself. But at the end of the day, be safe at shows. Um, I'm not blaming her. I'm blaming mostly the artist. You have a right to sue if you blew out your back or whatever happened. Because you, like I said before, I wrote, in quote, people go to shows believing the venue has set up a safe spot for the artist and for everybody involved. That is what people actually go to shows for. They believe they're going to enjoy entertainment, believe the venue has made it a safe place for everybody. So that is why 95% of artists don't jump in the crowd. They don't backflip into the crowd. They don't do that because the risk of ratio of getting people injured. That's why a lot of venues say do not stage dive. That's why you're at Rockville, the biggest music festival in the United States for rock music. People aren't running on stage, and you don't have bands doing backflips into the crowd because there's a huge gap between the stage and the audience due to that reason. So I just believe it was like a wrong time, wrong thing. You should have done it at a bigger venue, maybe with like 1,000 people capacity. Doing it at a small venue that only holds less than 300 people was a bad idea. But again, she has the right to sue for getting spinal injury. It's a difference if you're the one actually involved in the situation. I understand as a fan, you're like, I'm hardcore, I would never sue. But if it does, unless it happens to you, you don't know how you react. If you're not in the compromising position, let's say it's your wife, your girlfriend, your husband, you're not going to really say anything because you're going to be like, oh, that's lame. You knew what you were signing up for when you went to the show. Well, again, like I said, if you've only been to big shows, like I said, like amphitheater shows, like I was showing you at the Mid-Florida Amphitheater in Tampa, and you always sit in chairs, you're not going to expect a band member to jump off the stage and land on you. I wouldn't expect that. And my intentions for going to any show, I'm going to sit in my chair, and I expect I'm going to have my food, my drinks, hang out with my girl, and I'm assuming we're going to have good entertainment and have good staff members there that keep the venue safe. I'm not going there assuming maybe I might leave in a body bag. I don't believe that. But the lady's suing, so this venue is probably, because this is the second time happening, is going to realize they need to do something and put something in place so people can't have stage diving where people might possibly get injured. So the venue's got to do something to keep the patrons more safe next time.